All right, so this is where it gets fun with chapter 2. We are introducing you what's called general ledgers. General ledgers are going to actually tell us how much money we have in each account. So if you look down here, we have our chart of accounts up here. They're not going to be that important right now. We're going to come down here to what's our general ledgers. And if you notice, they all have numbers on them. And these numbers are going to come up here into our post references. So something that I do for making it easier on me, I do it line by line by line. You're done doing transactions at this point. You're just going to go line by line by line, and we're going to put what happened to this account in your general ledger. So now you're dealing with single accounts versus a whole transaction. Make a little more sense in just a second. So, like I said, go line by line by line. So April 1st, we're going to come down to our cash ledger. You first put in the date, April 1st. You don't put anything in for item. We just don't ever put anything in for item. The post reference. Post references are a way to make sure that we know where we're getting our information from. So we're going to say where we got our information from. It's the general journal, so G, and then the page number. So G and then page number 1. So a lot of these will be G1. All right, did we debit or did we credit? Well, we debited $2,500. And our balance, now these next one, it's like, oh, it's debit and credit again. The balance is this how much money is in our account. So there was no previous balance, so we're just going to debit $2,500. Now, to know if you've done this right, in our balance side, we're only going to have money in what's called our normal balance side. Remember that side that's increasing? So in cash, you honestly will never use this credit column because you can't spend more cash than you actually have. So that column should never be used. Okay, the last step is we take 110 and we post it back up here on our general journal. I think of this like a check mark. So that's all we're going to be doing is we're just transferring information. So now we go to our capital. So I'm going to close up that general ledger and I'm going to open up my capital. And I put in the date, which is April 1st. Nothing in for item. Post reference was general journal, G and page 1. And this time I credited $2,500 and my balance was $2,500. And so I take that 310 and post it up top. Okay, we're going to just keep doing this. If you feel like you know, just stay with me a little bit longer. Prepaid insurance. This happened on the 3rd. Nothing in for item. Post reference is G1. I debited $330. I didn't have a previous balance, so it's just going to be $330 on the debit side. Post reference 140, back up. Okay, now I have cash again. So I'm going to open up my cash. Okay, the 3rd happened. It's G1. Now this time I credited for $330. Now, if I have a debit and a credit, then I'm going to subtract. If I have a debit and a debit, I would add. So if they're the same, you add. If they're different, you subtract. So I'm going to bring my calculator over here. We're going to put 2,500 in, and we're going to subtract 330, which is 2,170. Now, make sure to put it on the debit side, because if I put it over here on the credit, that means I would be in debt 2,170. So make sure to keep it on the side that has the most money on it. All right. Post reference back up 110. All right. Next one is supplies. This one happened on the 4th. G1. We debited for 160, no previous balance, so 160. Post reference 130, back up to the top. Okay, next one, we're going to have an accounts payable for 210 to ready supply. This happened on the 4th. Post reference is G1. We credited 160, no previous balance, 160, and take 210 and check it off. Okay, going back to my cash account, this happened on the 8th, and I received cash, so it's G1. I received it for $325, so I debited. So now I'm going to have to pull up my calculator again and take $21.70 and add $325, and I have $2495. Okay, this is the bummer deal though. If you do mess up on one of these numbers up top, it will mess up everything else. So make sure that you are calculating right, or it's just going to save you time. All right, the next one happened on the, oh wait, we forgot to post reference 110, back up, and it saved me because I forgot to do my cells. So we're going to do cells. Happened on the 9th, we did G1, is where we got our information from, and we credited $325, credit $325, post reference 410, back up, should check mark it off. Accounts receivable is the next to Dan, and this happened on the 9th, post reference G1. We debited for 122, post reference back up top. All right, go to our cells, and I actually, if you followed me, I messed up. That should actually be the 8th, not the 9th. Okay, so change your date. Then the second one happened on the 9th. It's G1, and it was for credit 122. Pull up that calculator, take 325, add 122, put it on the credit side, so 447. So on the sales one, you will never use this debit column. On the balance one. So post reference 410, back up. Okay, rent expense. This happened on the 12th, G1, 260 was debited, and our ending balance was 260. 510 is up top. Cash is going to be the next one. So it happened on the 12th, G1. We had 260 credited, so I'm going to have to subtract that from 295. So 2235. Post reference back up top. Okay, accounts payable. So we got to go find that ledger. So that's the 15th, G1, and I debited $80. So I need to find out how much more I have left. So 160 minus 80, oh, it's 80. And we're going to make sure it goes on that credit side. Check it off. Okay, go back to our cash. This happened on the 15th. G1, we credited 80. So then we have 2,235, subtract 80. Okay, post reference back up top. So hopefully you're getting it a little bit more now. It's happened on the 16th, G1, and we debited 65. So it's kind of good. I already have my cash numbered up. 20. Oh, there's another 2 in there. Post reference back up. Accounts receivable, 16th, G1. We credited $65, so she paid on that. So we take 122, subtract 65. So she still owes $57 on her account, and post reference back up. So this is where it gets more just tedious almost, but it is an important step because now I know how much money I have in each account. Now, one last thing, we got to go to page 2. There's one last account. And this one's going to be tricky for us. Okay, put 25. Now this is the tricky part. General journal and what page? So this last one's going to be G2. So make sure you switch it to G2. We credited for 500, and so we have 1720 in the remainder. Okay, and then post reference back up. And then I forgot to do the drawing. So we got to go drawing. This happened on the 25th. G2 now. I'm going to debit 500, and my ending balance is 500. Okay, again, more tedious than anything, but I think you got it. Thank you.